He's competed in Prague, Russia, and Australia. We'll tell you who on Clay Target Legends. With us today on Clay Target Legends is the legendary Cory Kruse. Cory, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
So, for those of you that don't know, tell us about yourself.
Well, I believe this 2024 Nationals is my 27th consecutive national championship. Kind of grew up in the sport, had a lot of success with it, and love the family-friendly environment and all the, I guess you could call them like extended family now. This many years in the industry, I kind of get to see these guys more than I do my own family because, from tournament to tournament to tournament,
That's right.
it just kind of turns out that way.
Yeah, and I believe this is my 29th year to do this, and my wife and I were just walking up and down Vendors Row, and it's like an extended family. You see these people that you haven't seen in years. But obviously, you've become a legendary shooter, and we're in this room surrounded by legends, and that's got to be a remarkable feeling. So what pushed you to the ability of being a legend?
I didn't really have that in mind, whenever I guess it became that way. But looking back, I think, you can look at the pictures and all the items in here, and like you said, it does bring back a lot of memories. I was lucky enough to grow up competing and shooting, becoming best friends with guys like Anthony Matarese and Greg Wolf and Travis Mears. And, we've got, they're like brothers to me. And so to look around and, see old trophies as the junior Team USA and, all this other stuff. I think just the brotherly competitiveness and just trying to keep up with those guys is kind of what set the tone for becoming successful.
And it's friendly competition.
Exactly. I mean, every morning, we want to beat each other, but at the end of the day, it's a reset button. And we're going to try again the next day. And so we're always
the band of brothers.
Exactly. We're always pushing each other to get the little bit better. And then by the time you take a breath and you look back and you're, not arrogantly saying you're so far ahead of everyone, but you're just looking to see like, oh crap, well, this weekend you won, this weekend you won, and this weekend you won. And then it just turns out they've got bigger titles attached to each win. And I guess by definition that becomes successful.
Sure.
How did you get started?
My dad actually had a trap and ski club in Conroe back in the 60s and 70s, I believe, way before my time. But that gun club eventually burnt down and he quit. Well, one of the guys that was a shooter out at my dad's club and a close family friend of my dad's was Dan Carlisle.
Right.
So, after the club burned down and then Dan went off to the Army, then sporting clays became a thing and Dan got into it, and my dad and Dan had reconnected, and Dan told my dad about sporting clays. Well, I think I was probably 9 or 10. I'm bad with like years and age and all that. It all seems the
Wait
same.
to get older.
That's what I hear.
So, Cory, in your 27 years of doing this, and I have seen the crowd at this event and the participation at this event just grow exponentially. Why do you think that is? What's causing the growth in the sport?
It's fun. It's fun. It's, I guess, an easy analogy. If you go out and shoot a pistol at a piece of paper, it's boring. But now if you shoot a pistol at some steel, you get a noise, you get a reaction, you can see the hit. Well, with a shotgun, a moving target, and you get to see the target evaporate, break, and there's so many more elements to the game, the form, mechanics, the tying in the mental game. And a lot of guys play golf because their buddies play golf. But whenever they've got a hunting instinct or passion within their heart posture, well, they can do this. It's a translatable skill to something else that they like. It's fun. There's so many other different aspects to the game, being charity events and fundraisers and corporate events and youth and 4-H. Why not?
So how does one develop that skill that Cory Kruse has?
The other strange part about this game is you actually have access to some of the best information in the world. Now, if I was a golfer, I couldn't call up Tiger Woods or Jack Nicklaus and ask him, hey man, much less ask him a question, but you've got
all these different faces on the wall, and there's some which way to connect with those, ask for advice. So there's so much more literature now to get better. So what you do is you seek help. Find a good instructor, find a good local club, go out and take good advice. There's so much good equipment, all of the supporters within the industry, whether it's guns, ammo, gear, it's all readily available at your fingertips. It's a lot cheaper and it's a lot more fun than golf and any of these other things out there. We can go throw darts, but we can go shoot clays and actually have a good time.
So real quickly here, now you shot you mentioned Prague and Russia. What was it like?
Man, it was pretty surreal. I actually called my grandpa. I was actually over in England for about a month with the Brunton family, shooting and being, I guess, educated in something other than South Texas redneck tendencies. And I was due to go home. Well, Mike Brunton, who's a dear friend and he's passed now, invited me because he was going to go over there to scout this lodge out that they were going to host the Triple Classic Series, and he invited me to stay while I was 18 or 19. I don't even know how old I was at the time. Well, invited us to go over, and whenever we got there, I was with Brian Jardine, Ian Petrie of Promatic, and Mike Brunton, and this Willis, Texas redneck kid is sitting in a 5-star hotel, 5-star restaurant up with the snowy, winter night, and there's Red Square in the Kremlin. And I was like, dude, this is like, I watched Rocky, a lot growing up whenever he fights the Russian. And then I was like, man, there's that stuff. And I'm just hillbilly out here. I got to call my grandpa.
Quickly, Cory, and we can't take too long here, but give the new shooter a quick word of advice.
Take good advice. Trust the people around you. Everyone in this game is so nice. They want to help you. So trust good advice. Obviously have some discernment, but find a local instructor, that has some credibility and some success. I mean, I get it. There's other guys that anybody can help you, but depending on where you're at in your game, there's always someone that's got a track record of helping you advance to the next level. Seek that guy out, take good advice, and put in the work.
On behalf of the Museum and the Hall of Fame, I'm Steve Ellinger along with Phil Murray. This has been Clay Target Legends. Please hit that subscribe button. Visit our sponsors. Thank them, for those are the ones that make these videos and this museum possible.